5 mistakes you might be making when creating short form videos for social media. And no, it's not because you don't know how to create content. There are a few simple tips and tricks that I want to show you that will help make your video content stand out and get the engagement that it so much deserves. So let's dive right into the top 5 mistakes. And number 1 starts with making sure your videos are accessible. And now there are so many different nuances to this, but essentially what we want to do is make sure that any video content that we put out is accessible to anybody who wants to watch the video. So what this might look like is making sure that you have subtitles or text on the screen to help out the deaf and hard of hearing community. Also, this is just a good practice because a lot of people tend to watch videos on social media with the sound off or very low. This might also include trigger warnings based on content material, or if you have a flash on the screen or anything like that that's really going to negatively affect the person who is watching it. So letting them know ahead of time that, hey, there is some kind of subject matter or there is some kind of special effect on my video that is coming up. And again, just making it accessible so that the person that is watching it can decide whether they want to tune in or tune out. This also looks like having enough contrast in the text and the elements that you're using on your videos to help out the visually impaired community. And again, it's also just a good standard practice so that anybody that is watching your video has the ability to view all aspects of that video. Accessibility is essentially just a way to allow people in our community on social media to view our content in a way that meets their needs. And all you have to do is just be aware of the content that you're putting out and how it looks visually and how it sounds audibly. So mistake number 2 is getting and keeping attention in your videos. You have seconds, not minutes, to really capture somebody's attention with your short form videos. What are you doing in the beginning of that video and throughout that video to hold their attention? Are you using a hook to reel your viewers in? Are you keeping them there with visuals, audio, information, or a combination of the 3? And this doesn't require you to put out every single gimmick or tactic out there for attention grabbing, but it's just a way to acknowledge, hey, is this content worth watching for my audience member? For example, with these longer YouTube videos, I try and get to the point as quickly as possible, but I'm using things like chapters and things in the description, plus adding B-roll and visual elements to kind of keep my audience here and allow them to view the content from beginning to end. And how you can transform this into short form video content is making sure that you engage them with a hook, either spoken, written, or a combination of both, and then using things throughout your video to keep them there. Are you getting to your point kind of quickly? Are you using B-roll and visual elements? Do you have text on the screen? And then how are you keeping them there all the way to the end? What value are you providing for them? These are all things that you have to think about when creating this short form video content. Mistake number 3 that you might be making is using too many filters or video effects. Listen, I know we all love a good filter or we love a video effect, but it could be causing your viewer to turn away. And honestly, using too many filters or effects can be a really big turnoff for a lot of people. And sometimes when you use the wrong effect or whether you use the wrong filter, you can actually go viral for all the wrong reasons. I've seen it a ton on TikTok. This can go back to that accessibility component of creating content, but it can just also be a good standard practice. I know there's a lot of filters right now on TikTok and Instagram that's face altering and has a negative connotation to a lot of women and young girls on social media for this like ideal sense of perfection, or sometimes there are video effects they can cause a seizure because they flash too much. So make sure in the editing process, you don't use anything that is too heavy or overdone because a lot of people might swipe away from your video. Mistake number 4 that you might be making is not aligning your short form content with your overall goals and strategy. While this one isn't as tactile as some of the other tips I've given above, it's probably the one that I've seen people really mess up the most. I want you to think to yourself, before you go and create a video, think about the why. Why exactly are you posting this and why would somebody want to watch it? Don't get me wrong, I do love creating videos just for fun or to play around or try new things. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And in fact, I encourage you to do so. But that 3-minute long video rant about how your Instagram engagement is down, is that really gonna help your jewelry business? No, probably not. You need to make sure that you're creating content that aligns with not only your business, your values, but also your content strategy and goals for what you want social media to do for you. And if it's not moving the needle forward in your business and it's not helping you reach your goals, then you might be wasting time creating content just to check it off your to-do list. And mistake number 5 that you might be making is either talking too much or not talking enough. This one's just gonna take some practice and getting to know your audience. Listen, I talk a lot, and that's why I do these deeper dives here on YouTube. If I tried to deliver this same amount of content that I've given you throughout this YouTube video, if I tried to put it in a reel, it would be way too much information. But what I can do is take each of these 5 mistakes and create 5 different short form videos that I can put out as a reel or a TikTok. That honestly might be the perfect amount of talking in like a talking head video, or if I decided to do a tutorial or jump on a TikTok trend. So if you talk too much in your videos, you're actually going to see that people might dip off and your retention rate for the video will go down. And if you don't get to your point fast enough, the same thing can happen. Now, if you talk too little, you might be overwhelmed with the amount of comments and DMs that you're gonna get asking for more information or clarification, which might be a good thing at the time, but you just might be overwhelmed with all of it. So give away a little bit more in those videos. So now that we've talked about how to spruce up your social media content and really make sure you're not making these 5 mistakes with your short form videos, you might want to move into batching your content. So I actually want to give you guys something for free today, my content batching guide. This walks you through the step-by-step process, showing you how to go and create all of this content in a batching system so that you don't have to worry about posting on social media every single day. You can actually grab it at the link below. Make sure you leave some comments if you have any questions. Otherwise, I will see you next week, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.